As the school year nears its end, a number of highly selective public high schools around the country are struggling to deal with a longer-term problem: how to enroll more students of color. Special correspondent Spencer Michaels looks at one such school in this report produced in association with Education Week. It's part of our weekly series, Making the Grade.
Lowell High School in San Francisco excels in everything from music to math. Motivated, hard-driving, and talented students have propelled this four-year institution to the top tier of national public school rankings. Its graduates include scientists, politicians, entertainers, and a Supreme Court justice. Chrislyn Earle, here in a psychology class, is a senior.
I wouldn't imagine myself at any other school, to be honest. You know, this school really builds you for the next step in the next chapter in your life.
But there is something missing at Lowell. More students like Earle from historically disadvantaged minority groups. She is one of a very small and dwindling number of African Americans, about 2% of the student body. Latinos make up about 10%, while Asians comprise 57%. And whites also dwindling at 14%.
I think the people who are minorities at this school feel left out, and it is hard to find a place in this school. Like my freshman year, I wanted to transfer.
And I wanted to leave immediately, and I wanted to go to Balboa instead, because I know that it's more diverse over there.
That issue came to a head this spring when a non-black student put up a poster that drew the ire of many at Lowell. Titled Black History Month, it glorified black rappers in movies, lampooned President Obama, and failed to mention historically important figures. African American students walked out of class and marched to City Hall to protest.
The posters was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Earle lives with her mother, Sharonda Jackson.
The whole main purpose of the walkout is the students at Lowell and staff members were not respectful to the black culture. We were trying to explain that we are more than just our music and the movies and entertainment. This is not okay, and it's very insulting.
Earle didn't expect that when she took a test and applied to Lowell, which is a free public school.
When we received the letter that she was accepted, I was ecstatic.
But Earle says she didn't realize how few African Americans she'd meet.
It didn't really soak in until I got inside the classroom, and I was the only black person in there.
Diversity and how to achieve it is a hot topic at Boston Latin, a selective public high school in Massachusetts, at Stuyvesant in New York, and at other elite schools, many of which are majority Asian. Often, as at Lowell, the African American student population is dropping. Officials point to the declining number of blacks living in San Francisco, now just 4%, as one factor in the decrease of black students at Lowell. Other factors include poor preparation in early grades, low test-taking skills, and in some cases disruptive or difficult home life, suggests San Francisco School Superintendent Richard Carranza.
Some families are homeless, some families are living in poverty, some students are in foster care. How do we rally to create a mosaic of supports for students that have been historically disadvantaged, to give them the equity boost they need to meet the bar that we've set for them to get into different kinds of schools?
The low numbers of blacks and Latinos at Lowell, for whatever reason, discourages other students of color from even applying.
Lowell is certainly interesting because of the diversity problems that it and several other elite high schools around the country are facing. But for me, it's personal. My wife, my grandfather, and my father all went to Lowell, and I have a son who is teaching here now. Just for the record, I went to a high school across town.
You doing all right? Family, how's your grades?
But when Principal Andrew Ishibashi, who has worked in and attended inner-city schools, first became principal here, he was shocked.
I found that diversity was the weakest area of Lowell. It's something that I've worried about for the past 9 years.
A lot of my work is around diversity and education.
Misha Mosley, a part-time stand-up comedian and teacher who founded the Black Teacher Project in the Bay Area,
we at the Black Teacher Project believe that every child deserves a black teacher.
Says it's not a surprise that elite schools lack diversity.
By nature, they're exclusive. So how do you have diversity inside of a system or an organization or a school that's designed to shut people out? You know, we say we want diversity in this country. We're asking things of schools that we're unwilling to do of ourselves.
Her answer?
So you groom people. This idea that folks are born innately with the skills to succeed in these elite schools is ridiculous. Everyone's groomed, whether that means that you have a parent, making sure your academics are in order, or you go to a good school that's preparing you. Folks don't come out of the womb ready to succeed in an elite school.
But bringing more people of color into Lowell is not simple, says Superintendent Carranza.
Well, we knew that. We'd already figured it out, and so would have Stuyvesant and Boston Latin. If you see students of color in your school, are they made to feel like they're welcome? Or do students of color feel like, well, they're just a quota?
Lowell's principal has tried to dispel that feeling and boost academic performance by meeting occasionally at lunchtime with black freshmen and sophomores and a special consultant to go over grades and problems.
How did you guys do this spring?
First semester, I was really great at Algebra 2. Even though I was doubling up, you would think that I would fall behind, but I didn't.
So, have you come down for tutoring? I mean,
yeah.
I've seen you guys down here, but...
Yeah. I come down here, study, get a few tutors.
My Spanish grade was, really bad. It was, a F, and now it's to a B, because I, worked really hard to get it there.
Addressing the issues of diversity frankly is a major goal of an elective class in critical thinking and social change.
A lot of people don't want to go to a school full of a lot of Asians and then just so it discourages people from going to Lowell.
I just feel we're usually too busy studying and getting a good GPA and as a result, we don't really have time to think about how what we do impact minorities and all that stuff.
Malia Cohn, a member of San Francisco's Board of Supervisors and a graduate of Lowell in 1996, wants the district to allocate more money to address enrollment at her alma mater.
When it comes to actually hiring a person specifically charged with the duty of targeting and increasing enrollment, that's what we're not seeing.
Who's going to pay for that? Do I hire another English teacher or math teacher, or do I hire another specialized person to do something?
Lowell's principal has made recruiting a priority, going into black and Latino communities and persuading promising students to apply to Lowell. As for making it easier for students to get in, a topic that was hashed out and rejected in court years ago,
I would like to see a little dent in as far as not having to pull such high test scores and grades.
But the way to get more minority kids into elite schools, nearly everyone agrees, is to start young.
I went to Brooklyn Tech High School in New York City, which is a specialized high school. It had to take an exam. And I know that the preparation I had in elementary and middle school allowed me to do well on that exam, allowed me to do well in school.
Lowell and the nation's other elite public high schools have acknowledged they have a long way to go to achieve the diversity they say they value. For the PBS NewsHour and Education Week, I'm Spencer Michaels in San Francisco.